Hello, guys. So, this is the podcast with Sapna Chandel. She cracked UPSC Civil Services with Sociology as the optional, and she has been associated with us for quite some time for her sociology preparation. And she was part of our sociology classes, mentorship, and test series. So, in this video, in this podcast, she'll share her experiences. In fact, she cracked IFS also before. And once you understand the pattern of this exam, it's very easy to crack it. And that's what, if you remember, last podcast we had with Rajashree, she couldn't clear the prelims in the first three attempts, and in the next three attempts, she cracked exam with rank. So similarly, Sapna also have cleared this exam twice, IFS and this also. So you have a lot to learn from her. This video will be very much valuable. So she'll share her experiences, her struggles, and the resources, the way she approached this exam, everything she'll share openly in this video. And she'll also discuss how our mentorship test series and the classes helped her to score very good in sociology. So watch the video. Sapna, first of all, congratulations for securing All India Rank 356 in UPSC Civil Services examination.
Thank you so much, sir.
So tell me, how does it feel after cracking this exam, after multiple attempts?
It's kind of a relief, I would say, but it's still a very long journey. It's the goal that I have actually planned for me. It's still out there, and I have to achieve it. So I'm still there in the journey, but definitely getting a rank in the UPSC does give a sort of confidence, a kind of a relief that yes, you are worthy of it. So definitely, it's a very good feeling.
Yeah, and you have already cracked IFS also last year, so that gave you the confidence as well.
Yes.
Okay, can you just tell me about your background so that our audience will get to know when you started preparation and what is your educational background? Where are you from, and what you have achieved already in IFS or your background?
Sir, actually, I started preparing for the UPSC in the year 2020. That time I was doing my master's, and I've done actually my bachelor's and master's, both of them in mathematics from Delhi University. And while preparing, doing my master's, I realized that before that, actually, I was already giving attempts for the defense services. So that is also conducted by the UPSC. Then I got to know that, okay, fine, there are other opportunities also that are provided by the UPSC. Then I started preparing while doing my master's for the civil services. It took me around, I would say, 5 attempts to reach here, but each attempt has taught me something where I went wrong. In the initial 3 attempts, I could not clear the prelims itself. So in my fourth attempt, I wrote my first mains, and in my fifth attempt, I got into the CSE finally. And regarding my background, I'm actually from Himachal Pradesh. My father was in the army, so we have been to different places. I know about different cultures and all, and I think that is something, the value of giving back to the society that has been ingrained in me from that defense background has actually motivated me to go into the civil services.
So, what's the main difference with the first three attempt and then the fourth attempt you cleared the prelims and then you cracked IFS also where the cutoff of prelims is slightly higher. You couldn't clear the prelims in three attempt and then you cracked the IFS prelims as well. So, what's the main difference between the initial attempt and then later?
Sir, actually, in initial 3 attempts, I could not actually figure out what actually is the demand of UPSC. I never really seriously went through the previous year papers I was more into collecting how much study material you can collect rather than compiling and making sure that for one subject, you have to have at max 2 resources only. Make sure that you revise them multiple times rather than having multiple resources and you're just able to go through that just once. So that is not going to help. And I made sure that in my fourth attempt, I see all these mistakes and make sure that I ratify them. I did that in my fourth attempt, and finally, I was able to actually do it.
Yeah, actually, many aspirants face this challenge in the beginning. Like, where do you start with, right?
Yes.
Even you also faced that in the first 3 years, and then you cracked IFS also, and then CSE also. So, what do you think? What is actually the problem which you faced in the beginning, and how you overcame that?
Sir, actually, I did not have the right guidance initially, I would say. I did not know like where to go, where to actually start. So I used to watch online only, like Toppers Talk, and you just make an entire list. This is what you have to study. But I believe it's very important on your part to analyze your mistakes. I used to give I used before going into like taking test papers of different coaching institutes. It's very important that you religiously do the at least previous 10 years question papers for the prelims, which I never did in my initial three attempts. I did that in my fourth attempt, and I did not do those 10 years PYQs once. I did them twice or thrice before sitting in the actual paper, and that gave me the confidence to understand. I was actually able to understand the very language of UPSC, what because UPSC has a pattern and it repeats that pattern. Once you're able to crack that code, you'll sail through it. And I think those failures taught me that.
Yeah, will you be able to share your daily routine during this period? It's almost 5 years, right? So how did you balance your prelims, mains, and then optional? So will you be able to share your daily routine?
Sir, actually, I'm a morning person. So I usually wake up at around 7 or around 8 o'clock. And usually I give at least 8 hours a day uh, to the studies. In that, I make sure I divide the time properly. Like presently, if I tell you I'm appearing for the next attempt also, so I make sure that I divide the entire day. Like if I have to, within a day, I'll take up two subjects only for the prelims, and I'll make sure that 1 hour at least within a day, I give it to CSAT also. Even though I had my background in mathematics, but I'm scared of CSAT. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I give at least an hour to CSAT. I think people usually take CSAT very lightly that, okay, fine, it's just 33% and we'll qualify it. I'm from my own personal experience, I'm telling you the situation when you're sitting in the exam hall, it's very different. If you have not practiced enough for the CSAT beforehand, it will be very difficult to actually do even those one third questions in that limited time. So this is my advice actually to all those who are.
Yeah, Sapna, you cracked UPSC twice.
Yes,
One
sir.
IFS and this year CSE also.
Yes.
So tell me three, four major resources you relied throughout your preparation because you cracked IFS where the GS cutoff is slightly higher. So here also, so there will be some resources which you might have studied for last 5, 6 years, right? So what
Yes.
are
Sir, if I tell subject wise, like first, if we talk about his like history, so in the history, like for the ancient, medieval, and for art and culture, I basically relied upon the NCRT and going through the PYQs. Second, for modern history, as everybody does, I did Spectrum religiously and again going through the PYQs. For polity, Lakshmikant, and along with that, going with through the Bear Act parallelly. Because when we see Lakshmikant, it actually simplifies the language a lot. But when you see the UPSC paper, it takes out statements from the actual constitution. So you have to use that Bear Act. So I used to go through it like while I'm doing Lakshmikant, parallelly going through the Bear Act. For geography, again, NCRTs, uh, nothing beyond NCRTs. For economics, I did follow a coaching's a study material, and I have done that like in my past five attempts. I am doing that only, and parallelly going through the current affairs also, especially for the economics part. That is very important. And again, for environment and ecology, any coaching institute's compilation with whichever one is comfortable with. So this is what I actually did. Along with that, so it's very important. Parallelly, whichever source you're following, you should go through the PYQs because they give you a direction and they make you understand whether you're actually preparing in the right direction or not. And going through those PYQs once, twice, thrice, as many times as you can. That is the most important thing, actually.
Yeah. Sapna, now coming to optional. That's the most important point that we need to discuss, right? That's the most important challenge also, and that's the most important decision also that you have to take with respect to your preparation. Now, tell me, why did you choose sociology? You have a mathematics background and you have chosen sociology. So, first of all, tell me, why did you choose sociology?
Sir, actually, I have studied maths for like 5 years almost. So I was done with it. And during my master's, I realized I'm more interested in reading about humanities subjects. While I was preparing for the CDS also, I have already I have studies like history, geography. So I knew that I love studying humanities subject more than like going to maths and all. So, and then I went through the like syllabus of sociology also. I found it quite intriguing and it's very relatable also. What you're seeing around yourself when you get an opportunity to actually study it as a proper subject, I think that is what attracted me really towards sociology. And I went for it. And if we see the syllabus as compared to mathematics, if I see, so it's more understandable, more practical, and it's also going to help us in our other GS papers also. Like in case of society also, this knowledge is also will be actually helpful in writing essay papers also. So it has a lot of linkages with other GS subjects, and that's why I went for sociology.
Yeah, tell me what was your actual experience with the subject? Because people jump into sociology by looking at its syllabus. It's so easy and it's so concise, and there are some advantages, as you have told. But when you actually started with sociology, what was your experience with the subject?
So, if I don't know about others, but from my personal experience, I really enjoy the subject. I won't lie, but I really love studying sociology. That's one of the best thing, one of my best decisions, if I say. So, my experience has been really positive because, for example, if I talk about caste system, it is something when you're seeing it from the outside, it's very different when you're reading it in the form of a subject. Like you get to know a lot of things like which are going around your society. It makes you socially aware. So from my experience, it was I would say one of the best things, and definitely has made me more socially aware. uh, Taking sociology as an optional, I'm more aware about what actually is happening around me, how actually our society works.
And Sapna, if you see, your score in sociology is relatively good, if not at the top level, but
Yes.
still it's relatively good. And tell me how you structure your answers and how you structure that high scoring answers. The role of thinkers, the role of current affairs.
Sir, regarding how I structure, first of all, I used to know like if there is a question, but it's very important to actually understand the demand of the question. What is being asked, it's important that you answer that only rather than beating around the bush. So, first of all, basic structure like writing intro, body, and the conclusion. But within the body also, I made sure that I divide like whatever how many first I'll identify how many parts are there in the question, and accordingly I'll make headings. So for example, if there are like three parts are there within the main body, I'll make three headings for each of these three parts, so that at least the examiner knows that I've addressed each of the parts, and I'll highlight those properly. uh, Even if I know even one point in that one particular part, I'll still write it separately so that the examiner knows that the question has been addressed very holistically. While I'm ending my answers, I made sure that I write a conclusion, and there I'll take help of the thinkers also. Or if there is some current affair report, like if we are talking about inequality, so there is global inequality report. So I'll conclude it using that. So that was the thing. Another important thing regarding using the sociological thinkers, sir, I made sure that I use the thinkers across the papers rather than limiting them. Like if I have studied Karl Marx in paper one, it's not like that I can't use it in paper two. So that was one thing that really helped me, and I believe that is what we should do rather than segregating them. Like if I have studied in paper one, I'll use it there only, and I'll not use it in the second paper. So I think that has really helped me.
So that means you want to say both are integrated, not independent.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so see, Sapna, many aspirants, many sociology students have this confusion. What is sociological perspective, sociological theme, sociological thinking, sociological understanding? You will see that in the question paper itself, write a short note in sociological perspective. What do you mean by that? Because even child labor, I can discuss in other way also, in GS also I'll see, in sociology also I'll see. So what exactly you mean by that and how you write? If you can take any example, either child labor or poverty or women empowerment, and if you can explain, it will be a great help.
Like, for example, we can talk about women empowerment. So, if I have to write a sociological perspective, we don't have to go too far to find out how to write. It's there in the syllabus itself. So if we go through the syllabus, we talk about politics, we talk about education, we talk about family. So, there are a lot of things which are given within the syllabus itself. It provides you a very simple template. Within the syllabus, there is a template how you have to structure your answers sociologically. So, in paper one, like we have almost 10 topics. So out of those, if I'm able to extract five, like politics is there, religion is there, family is there, education is there, science and tech is also a very important topic, the last one in the first paper. So these are providing me very simple headings. These are nothing but sociological perspectives only. So under those headings, if I'm able to cover women empowerment, it makes my answer very holistic actually. And examiner also knows that she has actually gone through the syllabus properly. And I think we don't have to like look around that what exactly is sociological perspective. It's given very well within the syllabus itself, I believe.
Okay, and Sapna, during your preparation, especially in sociology, you were associated with us. You have joined our mentorship and test series. So can you tell me how that supported your preparation, our regular answer writing, evaluation, and mentorship?
Sir, I believe we, as we all realize that we plan that journey will end within 1 year, but sometimes it goes, it may take 5 to 6 years also at times. So proper guidance is really important, and your guidance has really helped me to improve my score, especially regarding definitely how to use the sociological perspective, how to use the sociological thinkers, and how not to overdo them because it happens we are in a habit. Like if I studied a sociological thinker, I'm in a habit like, okay, fine, within a question, I'll be using 2 to 3 sociological thinkers. That is, I think, what we should definitely avoid. And you have really helped me to identify that because within an answer, it's okay to use even one thinker rather than overdoing it or showing off your knowledge. That is what we don't have to do. Along with that, sir, regular feedbacks on how I am writing, on how I'm improving. I think those feedbacks has really helped me to identify my weak areas and also to identify my strengths. That has helped me to actually better perform in the real examination.
Yeah, Sapna, many students, they choose optional subject, especially when it comes to sociology, randomly, just by seeing that it is very easy paper, right? So what should someone who's choosing sociology seriously think about before they choose sociology as optional?
So first is definitely whether are they really interested in this subject. That is very important because, as I mentioned, it took me around 5 years. So you have to understand whether you can give 5 years to that particular subject. Will you be able, if the journey becomes this long, will you be able to hold that subject for like 5 years? It's not going to be an easy task. That is one thing that we have to keep in mind because we have to be very realistic about it. Second important thing, sir, it's also very important when you're taking your optional whether resources are there in the market or not. Like if I talk about sociology, there are plenty of resources out there. There are many mentors in the market who can guide us. So that is second most important thing. And third most important thing, with what exactly is your background? Like my background was maths and I was not like comfortable in continuing with that particular subject. So that was my understanding. So whoever is planning to take up sociology as an option should see like I basically their interest, I think, should be the main guiding force to guide them to take sociology as an option or any other subject as an optional.
Okay, Sapna, you cracked this UPSC exam twice, IFS and this one, CSE also this year. So you faced a UPSC interview board twice. How was your experience with the interview board?
Sir, I would say it was a very good experience. Unlike what is portrayed outside in the coaching institutes, that they are very strict or this does not happen in the real interview. They are very cordial and they will ask you questions either from your DAF or whatever is happening around you, something that is related to you, something that you know about. It's just that how you're able to handle yourself in that pressure like situation. And they are very cordial. They will actually motivate you to like think more or to think more holistically. They are not there to actually, I would say, put a lot of pressure on you. They are there to just judge your personality. Like if any random question or if you are in any random situation, how you're actually going to react, because that is actually going to put forward your true, I would say, self uh, in that situation. So my experience was really good. My questions were majorly from my DAF. What are, all my hobbies are like. I like to paint. So there were many questions on painting. There were many paintings actually there in the interview room itself. So they were asking me which from which state these paintings are. Like I'm from Himachal, so which are the famous paintings from your states? So the things the questions that they're asking are mostly going to be about you, about the state that you're coming from the society. So that is what it is.
Okay, you said that you actually suffered with CSAT. And
Yes.
many people think that if they have the math background or BTech background, CSAT is going to be easy. And you already have 5 years of math background also, and you openly admitted that CSAT was tough. So, what's your advice on CSAT to fellow aspirants?
So, my advice is we should not take it lightly. It's a very important paper. No matter if you score 100 or even 200 in your paper one, really does not matter if you're not able to clear the CSAT. So, taking it very seriously and making sure that within a day, at least give 1 hour to CSAT and religiously doing the PYQs. It's not just about the CSAT, it's about GS also, it's about means also. Going through the PYQs religiously, I think, is actually going to form a very strong foundation for anyone who is going into this preparation. So for CSAT also, going through the PYQs, doing those PYQs also multiple times is going to really help you in the real examination, because if UPSC is repeating its pattern in paper one, it is repeating it in paper two, like in CSAT also. So my advice is not take it seriously, go through the PYQs, and after that, if you feel comfortable, go through other coaching institutes like practice papers. But before that, UPSC PYQs are like must; they have to be done.
Was there any scenario in your first three attempts where you done with GS but you couldn't do CSAT?
Yes, sir. Actually, it was. So it happened because I took it very lightly. Because, sir, if you see the environment, it happens usually, it will be in the month of May. It's really hot out there in 2:30 in the afternoon, sitting there, you're totally exhausted. If you have not practiced that well beforehand, it is going to be very difficult in that real situation exam actually, because there's a lot of pressure also of paper one also, whether you have done it well or not. You're carrying that pressure also. The weather is such, so if it's better to actually bleed before than to bleed actually in the war. So that is
Okay, tell me, if someone's starting UPSC preparation today, what would be the top three advice that you will give to that person?
so first, my advice would be uh, like we should have a backup plan. I'd never had a backup plan. Now I realize that it definitely hard work is needed, but you definitely there has to be some sort of backup plan, because this journey you don't know how long it will last. Everyone comes enters this journey with a mindset that okay, I'll come and within the first attempt I'll just crack, and because everything is not just hunky dory. So definitely have a backup plan. Second, if you are entering into like preparing for the UPSC, whichever like GS, CSAT means, go through the PYQs very, very religiously. I did those mistakes in my initial attempts, and to whosoever is entering this, very important, PYQs very religiously. Like I cannot emphasize enough on this. And third important thing, sir, because as I mentioned, the journey becomes really long. It's very important to have good friends, have contact, be with your family, with your friends, because it totally exhausts you. This journey is going to be really exhausting at times. You may feel like giving up, and it's overwhelming at times. So having family, good friends, that support is really required to actually stay for that long in this journey.
Okay, now those who are preparing with sociology as your optional, what will you tell them? Will you recommend our mentorship and classes to them?
Definitely, sir. I will definitely actually recommend your classes for the sociology to the students who are planning to take up sociology as an optional. Because this really has helped me to identify my strengths, my weaknesses, and the sooner you realize these mistakes, I think the sooner you will actually crack this exam. I did not realize them before, but as I realized them, I was actually able to make into the list. So definitely, I will recommend your mentorship to the students who are planning to join.
Okay, let's conclude this, Sapna. One last question. if you can give a message to every aspirants who are struggling at this point of time. Now they might not have cleared this year, right? They attended interview, or they might not have cleared the mains or the prelim stage. So you are someone who was in this for almost 5 years and that consistent effort, and you finally cracked it. So what will you tell them? How to keep that motivation?
So I would say that don't give up. That's very, very important. You should not give up, and just give your best. This time when I cleared, sir, I did not enter in. I made sure that all the mistakes that I've committed, I did those mistakes before actually entering into the exam halls. I ensured that there I minimize my mistakes. It's very important to actually, as it is said, that you have to bleed while before actually entering into the actual war. Then only you can survive the war, and that is what I tried to do. So that is what those who have failed or those who are preparing should also do. And please don't, we should not, definitely not give up. Just give your 100%, identify your mistakes, commit as many mistakes as you can, rectify them before entering into the exam hall. And I think that is what actually has worked for me.
So your message to the aspirants is not to give up at any point of time.
Definitely no, sir.
Thank you so much, Sapna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.